Hello, my lovelies. Today I'm going to be interviewing my brand new deck, the Darkwood Tarot. I have wanted this deck for such a long time. It's a little bit like Fairy Tale meets Tim Burton vibes. I don't know if that was the intended artwork for this deck, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I love it so much already, but I highly recommend if you get yourself a brand new deck, interview it. Ask the deck a bunch of questions about itself, because I think it'll help. It has helped me in the past become more familiar with my deck and feel connected to it a little bit better. So I tried pulling the cards all at once. It said no. It didn't want to do it that way. So we're going to go one at a time. So the first question that I have for the deck is, tell me about yourself. What is your most important characteristic? Three of Swords. So this deck is not going to shy away from pain, from suffering. And it's so interesting, when I first looked at this deck, the little spider here made me feel like maybe it would be a little bit worse feeling. Maybe this deck is going to really highlight the reason for pain, the deeper meaning of pain. But ultimately, the characteristic, it feels as though its most important characteristic is not shying away from pain and suffering. All right, so the second question is, what are your strengths as a deck? What are your strengths as a deck? Tell me your strengths as a deck. Although I feel like that Three of Swords was pretty strong. Coming out of the gate hot. Your strengths as a deck is the Six of Cups. Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups a lot of times highlights things that have happened in the past. It's a bit of nostalgia. Sometimes people associate the Six of Cups. So the strength of this deck is probably going to be able to show you very clearly what has happened to you in the past. Well, me. What has happened in the past that is contributing maybe to the present pain that you're experiencing. Highlighting maybe the root cause of some things that need to be healed. And also putting that thing in a more positive light. Reflecting on some things that have happened in the past that have felt maybe uncomfortable or upsetting, and helping you to see that more beautifully. Third question here is, what are your limits as a deck? What are your limits as a deck? Oh, we have the Lovers. So the Lovers would be maybe highlighting romance. Maybe that might be limiting for this deck, or assisting in making choices. Maybe that's not what this deck is for. It kind of feels like this is a bit more like shadow work, rather than trying to understand how to bring love in or how to make choices. So that might be a limit of this deck. Fourth question here is, what are you here to teach me? Immediately fell right out. The Ten of Wands. What burdens that I have in my life that I need to release. Wow, this is for sure my shadow work deck. Not even kidding. It's like, we're not going to talk about romance. We're not going to talk about your future choices. We're not going to talk about any of that. We're talking about pain. We're talking about past trauma. And we're talking about burdens that you need to release. Holy cow. And you know what? I was just looking at this Ten of Wands. It looks like she's trying to portray like some kind of devil or demon. I actually got maybe Lilith with this one, finding that sense of power within the womb and sacral. I mean, I am a manifesting generator and I do have some issues with that. So this is really good. The next question is, how can I best learn to collaborate with you? And it is the Five of Swords. So interesting. So with the Five of Swords, I usually read this card as like a no-win situation and choosing yourself. So the best way for me to collaborate with this deck is if I am really trying to choose myself, trying to advocate for myself and just think about me first, which has always been a problem for me. I am definitely a people pleaser. So the deck is like, if you're not choosing yourself, you're not going to understand me. Whew. Last but not least, it will be, what is the potential outcome of us working together? Here we go. Of course, the Hierophant. So a deeper understanding of my beliefs, my core beliefs, deeper understanding of my sense of spirituality, who I am, what I am, my position in this world. I knew this deck was going to be really intense. I did not know that it was going to be like this. I'm really excited to be working with this deck. I've already used it in some of my live sessions, so if you have seen it, then you know. But I finally got around to asking it some questions, and I'm actually really excited. It feels like this deck is going to be really honest, really direct, which I always appreciate, honesty and directness. It's not going to shy away from things that are painful, and it's really not going to give me any fluffy answers that I might want. And therefore, the deck will do that for my clients as well. So if you are in my live session and you see me using this deck, best believe that the answers you receive are going to be honest, deep, direct, and probably focusing on your shadow work. Anyway, I encourage you guys to interview your decks too, find out their personality and a little bit about how they can help you in your readings. And I'll see you next time.